Hello, welcome back to the reading of the poem of the Man God, written by Maria Valtorta, Volume 1, Chapter 22, Part 3 of Mary and Elizabeth Speak of Their Children. The conversation between Mary and Elizabeth continues. Shall I tell him? We will ask him to come for John's circumcision. No, I have entrusted God with the task of informing him of his happy destiny of putative father of the Son of God, and he will do so. The Spirit said to me that evening, be silent, entrust me with the task of justifying you. And he will do so. God never lies. It is a great trial, but with the help of the Eternal Father, it will be overcome. No one must learn from my mouth what the benignity of the Lord has done. Certainly you are the exception, because the Spirit revealed it to you. I have not mentioned it to anybody, not even to Zacharias, who would have been very happy. He thinks you are a mother according to nature. I know, and I decided that out of prudence. The secrets of God are holy. The angel of the Lord did not reveal my divine maternity to Zacharias. He could have done so if God had wanted, because God knew that the time for the incarnation of his word in me was already imminent. But God hid this joyful light from Zacharias, who rejected your late maternity as something impossible. I have complied with the will of God, as you have seen. You have perceived the secret living in me. He did not perceive anything until the screen of his incredulity does not fall before the power of God. He will be separated from supernatural lights. Elizabeth sighs and becomes silent. Zacharias comes in. He offers some parchment rolls to Mary. It is the hour of prayer before supper. Mary prays in a loud voice in place of Zacharias. Then they settle down at the table. When you are no longer with us, how shall we regret having no longer anyone to pray for us, says Elizabeth, looking at her dumb husband. You will pray then, Zacharias, says Mary. He shakes his head and writes, I will never be able to pray again for other people. I became unworthy when I doubted of my God. Zacharias, you will pray. God forgives. The old man wipes a tear and sighs. After supper, Mary goes back to the loom. That's enough, says Elizabeth. You will become too tired. Your time is approaching, Elizabeth. I want to prepare for your child clothes worthy of him who will precede the king of the house of David. Zacharias writes, of whom will he be born, and where? Mary replies, where the prophet said, and of whom the Eternal Father will choose. Whatever our Most High Lord does is well done. Zacharias writes, well, in Bethlehem then, in Judah, we shall go and worship him, woman, and you will come to Bethlehem to Joseph. And Mary, bowing her head over the loom, says, I will come. The vision ends thus. Mary says, the first charity towards our neighbors is to be exerted towards our neighbors. This must not seem a pun for you. To you, there is charity towards God and charity towards our neighbors. Charity towards our neighbors comprises also charity towards ourselves. But if we love ourselves more than our neighbors, we are no longer charitable. We are selfish. Also in lawful matters, we must be so holy as to always give priority to the needs of our neighbor. Be sure, my children, that God provides for the generous by means of his power and his bounty. It was this certainty that led me to Hebron, to assist my relative in her condition, and to my eagerness for human help. God, giving beyond measure, as he is wont, added an unforeseen gift of supernatural assistance. I went to give material help, and God sanctified my good intention by sanctifying through it the fruit of Elizabeth's womb. And by means of that sanctification, by which the Baptist was pre-sanctified, he relieved the physical pain of the elderly daughter of Eve, who had conceived at an unusual age. Elizabeth, a woman of fearless faith and confident submission to God's will, deserved to understand the mystery that was enclosed within me. The Spirit spoke to her through the bouncing in her womb. The Baptist pronounced his first speech as the announcer of the word, through the veils and the diaphragms of veins and flesh that separated and united him at the same time to his holy mother. Neither did I deny my prerogative of being the mother of the Lord, because she was worthy of the information and the light had revealed itself to her. To deny it would have meant denying God the praise that it was just should be given to him, the praise that I bore in me, and which, since I could not tell anyone, I repeated to the herbs, to the flowers, to the stars, to the sun, to the singing birds and the patient sheep, to the warbling waters, to the golden light that kissed me descending from heaven. But it is sweet to pray together, rather than to say our prayers by ourselves. I would have liked all the world to know of my destiny, not for my own sake, but that they might join me in praising my Lord. Prudence forbade me to reveal the truth to Zacharias. That would have implied going beyond the work of God. And if I was his spouse and mother, I was still his servant, and I could not take the liberty of substituting him and exceeding him as a decree, simply because he had loved me beyond measure. Elizabeth, in her holiness, understood and was silent, because a holy person is always submissive and humble. The gift of God must increase our goodness. The more we receive from him, the more we must give. Because the more we receive, the more obvious it is that he is with us and within us. And the more he is with us and within us, the more we must endeavor to reach his perfection. That is why I worked for Elizabeth, postponing my own work. I was not afraid that I would not have time. God is the master of time. He provides for those who hope in him. Also, in normal things, selfishness does not speed matters up, it delays them. Charity does not delay, it speeds up. Always bear that in mind. How much peace there is in Elizabeth's house. If I had not been worried about Joseph and my child, who was the Redeemer of the world, I would have been happy. But the cross was already casting its shadow on my life, and I heard the voices of the prophets like a knell. My name was Mary. Bitterness was always mingled with the sweetness that God poured into my heart, and it increased more and more until the death of my son. But when God calls us, Mary, to the destiny of victims for his glory, oh, it is sweet to be ground like corn in the millstone, to convert our pain into a bread that can strengthen the weak and make them capable of reaching heaven. Now it is enough. You are tired and happy. Rest now with my blessing. This has been a reading from the poem of the Man God, written by Maria Pop Torta, Volume 1, Chapter 22, Part 3,
Mary and Elizabeth speak of their children. Thank you for listening. May God bless you, and may peace be with you.